I've been looking for a used block plane for a while and finally found this one at a flea market a few weeks ago. Let's clean it up. This plane doesn't have an adjustment lever, only a large cap screw to keep the cap and iron in place. The iron is covered in surface rust, but doesn't have any serious pitting. The depth adjuster and depth lever is in great condition. The body appears to be japanned, and aside from a few nicks and bangs, is also in good condition. The mouth has a rough patch, but this shouldn't have much of an impact on performance. The front knob is also in good condition and is made from a hard plastic, or perhaps Bakelite. The sole is quite scratched and also has some surface rust. According to the seller, the plane dates from the 1980s, but unfortunately it doesn't have any maker marks. I couldn't find similar planes online, so I don't know when or by whom it was manufactured. A quick brush is all the body and cap needs. The sole needs quite a bit of work to remove scratches and rust and to flatten it. I use double-sided tape to stick sanding paper to a smooth, even surface and get to work. I also clean up the sides of the body. These lines will show high and low spots. When the lines are all gone, the sole is flat. The sides have become sharp from flattening the sole, so I chamfer each side and smooth out the front and rear edge of the body. I continue working my way up the grits until the sole is flat and shiny. Now let's tackle the iron. To remove the rust from the iron's edge, I place it in a honing guide. The edge cleans up quite quickly. Once I feel a burr forming, I flatten the bottom of the iron. I can see from the uneven sanding marks that the bottom of the iron isn't flat, so I continue to work the front to flatten it. Now it's time to start the sharpening process. I work up from 400 grit, flattening the burr before moving on to the next grit. I add a dab of oil to the sanding paper when I reach 800 grit. That'll do the trick. I want to add my personal touch to the plane, so I'll be making a new front knob with a flat top. I start with a hardwood dowel. I mark the center and start drilling out the bottom with a Forstner bit. Don't worry, nothing's on fire. When the bottom fits well, I drill through for the screw that holds the knob in place. As usual, it's a perfectly off-center hole. I use my rotary tool to shape the knob. To keep me on my toes, the sanding band slips off. I'm always surprised by how much kick this little thing has. Shaping the knob was harder than I thought it would be, but I eventually managed to get a shape I'm happy with. After some hand sanding, I apply a generous amount of mineral oil to the knob to treat the wood and give it a rich color. Now it's time for reassembly. That is in fact not the right way around for the depth adjuster. The depth lever, or rather depth knob, has two sets of threads. The thicker thread screws through the body, while the thinner thread screws into the depth adjuster and allows it to move the blade forwards and backwards. I spent an embarrassing amount of time figuring out how to screw everything in correctly, but don't worry, I didn't damage any of the threads. Eventually, I managed to get things working as they should. The notches in the bottom of the iron slots into the depth adjuster, allowing the blade to move forwards and backwards. Here is the end result. After quite a bit of setup and turning the depth adjuster the right way round, she whispers as she cuts and produces beautiful shavings.